Welcome to Epistemics'24 Crew, an enlightening interview series organized by the Science Association of Royal College. Our distinguished guest is a leading professor representing the plant science department of the University of Colombo. Our guest has made significant contribution to the plant science field and imparting knowledge to the next generation of scientific minds. To be inspired by the embark of a knowledge filled with Odyssey, one of the most foremost authorities in this fascinating field. Welcome, this is Hashendra Kathriarachchi. Good morning, Professor Hashendra Kathriarachchi. Thank you for joining with us today. Can you start by telling our audience a bit about your professional background and expertise?
Good morning. Actually, I graduated from University of Peradeniya as a botany special graduate, and then I did my masters. It's a nice opportunity to I worked totally in the Sinharaja rainforest to do a ecology and restoration trial. So that was my masters. Then actually I got a good opportunity to study on plant molecular systematics. That is how you classify plants using DNA or genetic markers. So I worked there in a tropical plant family called plant family Phyllantheraceae. So it's a very big project. I worked on several genera on that plant family. So then actually I changed my path from ecology to systematics, and that's why I would say I have the experience in plant ecology as well as in systematics.
That's impressive, Professor. Can you please tell us about some of the challenges that you have faced before coming to this question?
Okay, I think as I told you before, just after I graduated from Peradeniya, if I recall, as an undergraduate student, I mainly spending long hours in the university hostels and away from home, sometimes several months, not like these days. We don't have much transport facilities. We have to take the train to come to the university and from down south. So that is a challenge. Of course, living with the friends in the university hostels entirely for 4 years of the undergraduate life. And then I told you I worked in Sinharaja. So sometimes during like entirely 3 weeks, I'm in the forest. So I have to rely on the villagers around the forest, and sometimes we stayed in their homes. So that is, when I think about now, at that time, it was a wonderful time I spent with the villagers. They are very innocent villagers, far from the cities. Sometimes I help them to do their schoolwork for children around, and sometimes I did voluntary teaching in the village school, English and maths like things. So I had a very good rapport with the villagers. Still I am using that to teach my own students. So that was a challenging. And then most of the academics, we go to a different country and living there. And in my case, it was a German-speaking country. I went to University of Vienna, Austria. So that is again a little bit challenge because I didn't know any German to survive mainly there in a German-speaking country. And sometimes during now when I'm teaching, also doing field work with the undergraduate students, I really enjoy. But sometimes it's challenging, depend on students, and some accidents happen. Sometimes that is weather conditions and things like that.
Yes. That's actually wonderful, Miss. Obviously, madam, you have worked in this university for a quite long time, Miss. Can you please share some of the experiences or some iconic moments that you have found during this time period?
Yes, I joined the University of Colombo from after my postgraduate in 2005 as a senior lecturer. So directly I engaged with undergraduate teaching in plant systematics, ecology, and related other courses. I would say some of the research findings we have done with the undergraduate as well as postgraduate students. I will highlight one of our students during her PhD, she found a new plant genera called Kuru Una, that is a dwarf bamboo. Some are only restricted to one or two localities in Sri Lanka, like high elevation, like Pidrutalagala mountain. That plant genus is not only Sri Lanka, it's in India also, but it was misidentified as another genus. So we found it's a genus on its own, Kuru Una, like Kuruna. So that is a new plant genus to the plant world. As well as during our undergraduate research work, we have found several rediscoveries. Those are not new species. Species have been recorded after like 150 years, 120 years. We discovered those again during our ecological and taxonomic surveys mainly. So those are some highlights in my particular field, as well as we have worked on some threatened and critically endangered plant genera. So how this plant species and genera will perform with the climate change. So how they will adapt, whether they will adapt successfully, they will distribute their distribution, whether it will expand or restrict during the climate change. Those are ongoing research, but we have very exciting findings on that. So that is again what I'm doing. But on behalf of the department, I would say we have very eminent scientists in plant pathology and plant microbiology. I know most of the professors and senior academics in that field also found new not new pathogens, like first record of some important plant diseases like rubber, crop cultivation related diseases. First records in this university, in our department, as well as microorganisms. Some are beneficial to us, like first records coming from our department, as well as some other plant, other academics working on developing computer models and other algorithms, like things related to the DNA and other molecular markers and molecular data. A lot of ongoing research is, research is ongoing, and there are quite a lot of new findings will come also in few years.
That's wonderful, Miss. For rest of the questions, Professor Tara De Silva is joining with us. Thank you, madam, for joining with us today. Can you please tell our audience a bit about you, Miss?
Okay, so I actually graduated from the University of Colombo from this very same Department of Botany at that time. And I was fortunate enough to be recruited to the staff of this department soon after graduation. So this was almost 40 years ago. So I joined the department staff, academic staff, as a probationary assistant lecturer, as we were called then. And that was a probationary position for confirmation we need to do higher studies or advanced studies in an area in botany. So usually a PhD, and so I was fortunate to get a scholarship, a Commonwealth scholarship to go and study in the UK, and I chose the University of Reading in England, where I specialized in the area of genetics and plant breeding. I was there studying for my PhD for 4 years, and after getting qualified with the PhD, I came back to the department and was promoted to the post of senior lecturer. So that was the start of my career in this department. And I really consider it a privilege to be able to have joined this department and served for a long period up to now. Yes.
Okay, Miss. Can you please explain us about the department, how inside the department works, and about its legacy, Miss?
Okay, Colombo University itself is the oldest university in the Sri Lankan university system, and the Department of Botany is one of the oldest departments in the entire university system. In fact, when the university was established, there were only 5 departments in the Faculty of Science, and botany was one of those oldest departments. During that time, now any students who join the Faculty of Science, they come through the bioscience stream, and when they enter, we have degree programs laid out for them. The structure of those programs is when a student enters from the biological science stream, they will study for 2 years what we refer to as the basic course in sciences. That means students in the biological science stream will take courses from 3 main subjects, that is botany, zoology and chemistry. After 2 years of study of those basic courses, they have an option of being specializing in a particular subject. We call it a special degree. Now we call those honors degree programs. So after 2 years of study, based on their academic performance and their merit, they are selected to do the special degrees, or what we now call them as honors degrees, and they can opt to do an honors degree in one of these 3 main fields. So during in the early days, during our time, there was only one special degree offered by each department. So our department, botany department, offered the special degree in botany. But now, as we know, science has expanded so much. There are new developments in this field of science. So each of our departments in the Faculty of Science offer at least a minimum of 4 special honors degree programs. So we in the botany department also have got 4 honors degree programs on offer. So students can therefore select either to do an honors degree in botany. That the old botany honors degree was revamped and restructured, because incorporating all the new technological advances, particularly in the area of molecular biology. So the students still study on the ecological aspects, the organismal biology of the plants, but yet they are also incorporating into that molecular technologies, analyzing the systems using the molecular biological techniques and so on. So now, therefore, we decided to call that particular degree program not a special degree in botany anymore. It's now called an honors degree in plant sciences, because plant science has a broader perspective. So that is one of the honors degrees we offer. Then you may also know that in the last 50 to 70 years, there has been rapid development in the field of molecular biology, right? So people are now going from macro level to studying micro level, the molecular level studies. So there is, which has now resulted in a new discipline which is called molecular biology. So we also revised our syllabuses, our curricula to incorporate these aspects. So now we are teaching molecular biology and biotechnological aspects in another special degree, honors degree course, which we call the honors degree in plant biotechnology. So that program, in that program, students get to study all these new aspects, particularly in relation to how the molecular biology has changed the understanding of the discipline of plant sciences, and how it is impacting the agriculture and even the conservation of plants and plant systems, right? So that is a very popular program in our university, this honors degree program in plant biotechnology. Then we are offering another honors degree program. This also came as a result of this molecular biological advances technologies, where in very many all over the world, the laboratories are working on defining organisms in relation to their, let's say, their DNA records. So there's sequencing going on, genomes are sequenced of organisms, and there's a lot of data that is being generated on different organisms, particularly plants, crop plants and animals. And these data are now deposited and are available freely in public databases. So therefore, because there's so much data, like in nowadays the talk about big data, so there's so much data, you need to be able to have means, computational means to analyze that data. So there was another new discipline that arose because of that, which we refer to as the bioinformatics, right? So bioinformatics is a new discipline that has come up, and we were the first department. Actually, we were the first department faculty in the entire university system in Sri Lanka to offer an honors degree program in bioinformatics. So that is our third honors degree program. So that bioinformatics really means the use of computational methods to analyze biological data. So it is like a basically computational biology. So students can opt to even take a program in computational honors degree program in computational biology. So now, unlike before, a student who enters the Faculty of Science and chooses to study with us has these three main programs: the honors degree program in plant science, honors degree program in plant biotechnology, and the honors degree program in bioinformatics. Now, all these three programs, we train students to get into a academic or a research-based career, but that doesn't mean having studied those in these streams that they are only restricted to these. They can, of course, change their direction later on, but basically the focus is on an academic or a research career. So then later on, the faculty thought about students who are not interested in an academic career, who want to immediately join and find a job in the job market. So therefore, now we have introduced another honors degree program, which we say is more industry oriented. And our department has introduced an honors degree program in horticulture and landscape architecture. So those are the four main degree programs on offer at the moment. So our curriculum is really dynamic. We keep changing based on the new developments that are happening. So that is basically what we offer as academic programs in this department.
Thank you so much, Karim, for the information. And finally, as the last question, Miss, can you give us a small advice to the A-level students that are willing to join to these universities?
Yes, so students who do A-levels in the biological science stream, many probably have aspirations of going into the medical faculty to become a doctor. Of course, not everyone can do that because there are limitations, there are restrictions for the numbers that are taken. My advice is you will be disappointed, but don't think of it as a setback, because there are so many other opportunities for a person who has studied biology. There is a saying, when one door closes, another opens. So look forward to the other opportunities. You just look into the areas that we have mentioned. Now, for example, graduates from our department are found everywhere, working in different parts in the state sector, in the private sector. And it's not only that. If you now, for example, in the state sector, there are jobs in the ministries of departments of wildlife and conservation, in the forest department. in the Ministry of Environment, in the Central Environment Authority, in the Ministry of Agriculture, in the research institutes. So our job is graduates are placed in all of these places, and they are at high positions, right? So if you are not interested in an academic or a research career, if you are interested in a research career, certainly you can go ahead and do your higher degrees, PhDs. That is, half of our graduates are actually preferring to go overseas to do higher studies. So majority of them now are working in the US universities or in Australia and many of the developed countries, and England, in the UK, and even South Korea. So there are research opportunities, there are academic opportunities. You can join the staff of the universities and have a research career, academic career, and also in addition to that, even though you have done a science degree, that doesn't stop you from changing your direction later on, even in life. For example, some of our students, after they after they graduate from here, they write these exams. Like we have the Sri Lanka Administrative Service, then we have the Sri Lanka Scientific Service, we have the Sri Lanka Foreign Service. So from our own department, students have passed those exams. And very recently, I met one of our students, and I was so happy to hear that he's in the Foreign Service, that he's being posted as the ambassador to Austria. He probably has already gone there. So he's a graduate from here. So and similarly, so the world is your actually, you can, if you pursue your passion, this is a basic degree. From here onwards, you can move on to into any direction that you like. So my advice is, whatever you do it with 100% engagement, and then you will succeed. Right? Don't do half-hearted work. Do it properly, and you're sure to reach the stars.
Thank you so much, Professor, for your valuable information.
Thank you.